JB and Jules for breakfast. Bundy's 93.1 Triple M.
It is 93.1 Triple M, JB and Jules.
JB, yesterday we were having a chat about a fight between the farmers and council. We are talking about rate rises.
Yeah, we heard this on the news about the ridiculous rate increases and the size of them. This is our news reporter, Abby Smith.
Farmers say rate increases are having a negative impact on the local economy with less money around for spending. The Bundaberg Farmers Consortium recently formed to tackle the issue, claiming many farmers are having to deal with rate rises of over 100% and some as high as 235%.
So not being a farmer ourselves, but having many questions and not understanding business ourselves, we wanted to pose a few questions to someone who understands this fight, someone from a business perspective, and we wanted to chat to Tim Sayre from the Bundaberg Chamber of Commerce. Now, good morning to you, Tim. How are you?
How are you?
Amazing, Tim. Now, tell us about what's the go? Why are we seeing these rates rising?
So there's a whole heap of different issues around why they've raised them, and that's part of the problem we've got here. There's a lot of myths and fact versus fiction and that sort of stuff, which is why we're at Chamber. What we're basically saying is we need to get these two parties together.
Yeah.
The council's come out and gone, righto, well, our budget is saying we've got a rate rise. Farmers are going, that's just a rise that we can't absorb, and it's going to put a lot of them to the wall. So we want to see the two parties come together and actually work out what a compromise can be so that they can move it forward.
Yeah, that sounds like the best idea. Now, we seen a group of people there at Northside Produce, and we heard a bit about how the trickle-down effect and how it'll affect Bundaberg as a town. What's that going to look like if there's no sort of compromise here?
Well, mate, Bundaberg's an agri-based economy, and what that means is that underpinning everything that we do in our economy is agriculture. So whether that's cane farming, macadamias, or any of the numerous veggies and so forth that we grow in this area underpins what we do. So when our farmers hurt, it means that the rest of the community hurts. They don't have money that they can spend throughout the economy because they've got to put it somewhere else. And let's face it, Bundaberg's been in a bit of trouble for a while, given the fact that we've come through one of the worst droughts. We've had bushfires, we've had COVID, and now there's the increase in the rates. The farmers have been really struggling for a while.
Tim, it seems like a massive slap in the face. Like you've said, now they're facing COVID. So, and there's been increases for years now. It just continues to go up and up. Can you, what are the industries, do you think, that have been the most affected by this?
By the rate rise or by...
Which farmers have been most affected, yeah.
It's the farmers that are closest to the wall. So cane for years has had issues with its pricing. The good old days of cane farmers travelling around the world after a crop is well and truly gone years and years ago. So cane's one of the hardest hits. But we've seen so many businesses, including farms, that are struggling to have any sort of decent cash flow or any cash flow at all, just because it's been so tough for so long.
Yeah,
and mate, it really does affect us.
Yeah, mate. So moving forward, you said that need to get them in a room and get a compromise happening. Do you want to set up a spare room here at Triple M? How do we lock everyone in a room and get a compromise that's going to work for all of them? Because I dare say, we can point council to be the bad guys, but they're not going to raise rates unless there's a reason behind it. So how do we find that happy medium?
Oh, mate, that's the $64 million question, or in this case, the $5 million question. But it just needs to be done. We need to stop people butting heads and instead be prepared to sit down and talk. And you're right, council doesn't want to raise rates unless there's a good reason. And part of it comes out from the valuations that came from the state government. We need to find a way that everybody can come out of this in a win-win situation, and that's the really important thing. The time to stop butting heads and calling of names and all that sort of stuff has to stop, and we just need to get people to sit down and work through how this can come to a resolution that suits just about everybody. That's the important thing.
Well, it sounds like a plan. Big Bash Cricket tomorrow night here at Salter Oval. I'll see you there. Bring a couple beers. Bring all the people that need to come, and we'll talk this thing out.
Excellent. That sounds like a plan, mate. That's a good idea.
Thanks for your time, Tim Sayre from the Chamber of Commerce. Good on you, mate.
Thank you.
JB and Jules for breakfast. Bundy's 93.1 Triple M.